Namaste, Hamisha Kushroho Pitia. My name is Manisha Singh. Today I am teaching you defects in dried milks. So, in our previous class, I was teaching about the dried milk. In today's class, we will we will study about the defects in dried milk. Some of the common defects that may develop in the dried milk products due to the various reasons are: number one is off flavors. It includes the oxidized tallowy flavor. Dry whole milk and other dry high fat milk products undergo oxidative deterioration, which is known as tallowy. And whole milk powder with low to medium preheat treatments has a greater tendency to undergo lipid oxidation with distinctive tallowy and musty flavors than powders made with higher heat treatments. Chemical changes results with the addition of oxygen to the double bonds of unsaturated glycerides, giving at first peroxides and later aldehydes, ketones, etc., which impart the unpleasant flavor. Copper and iron act as a catalyst. Higher storage temperature, higher acidity, sunlight, and ultraviolet irradiation promote faster development of oxidative deterioration. Next off flavor is rancidity flavor. Rancidity is basically occur due to the hydrolysis of fat through lipase enzyme, leading to the production of free fatty acids like butyric acids. Then stale flavor. Stale flavor is due to the carbonyl compounds, and it can be detected in milk powder almost as soon as they are made. The mechanism of formation of these compounds may be through the Maillard reaction, but many compounds contribute to a stale cardboard flavor, including oxidation byproducts. The defect is accelerated by high moisture content and high temperature of storage. Next is cooked flavor. Milk powders often have cooked flavor, which results from components formed during preheating and possibly during the evaporation. During drying, conditions are mostly not such that off flavors are induced. On the contrary, a considerable part of the volatile sulfhydryl compounds is removed. A cooked flavor in a milk powder mainly results from methyl ketone and lactones formed by the heating of the fat and the form Maillard products. Next is discoloration. Milk powders tend to darken during storage, turning to brown due to the Maillard reaction, which refers to the reaction between the free amino groups of the protein and the sugar, that is the lactose, which is present in the milk. This is associated with old or stale off flavor, and high moisture content and the high storage temperature enhances browning discoloration. Spray dried milk powder is more susceptible to age darkening and to greater intensity than roller process powders. Next is the free fat. Free fat or extractable fat is the portion of the fat content of a milk powder that can be extracted by organic solvents. For example, carbon tetrachloride. It is expressed as a percentage either of the total fat content or of the total mass of powder. Free fat content of milk powders affect flowability, reconstitutability, and stability of the milk powder. The factors controlling the level of free fat are the type of fat, that is, low melting fats tends to produce higher levels of free fat, and total fat content. As the total fat content increases, the free fat rises progressively up to the 20%. Next is product composition. The formation of free fat is reduced by the high content of amorphous lactose and is increased by the high protein content. Next is gentle drying conditions, controlled inlet air temperature, outlet air temperature, and atomizer speed. Next is gentle powder treatment, avoiding pneumatic transport, low pressure drop in cyclones, and effective cooling of powder by fluid bed. The powder moisture should not be too low, and it avoid lactose crystallization and addition of emulsifier. Next is poor solubility. Powders with low or poor solubility cause sediment, which is unsightly and undesirable, and they can also cause processing difficulties and can result in poor economy, as milk solids may be lost as soluble Insoluble material, the sediment produced when milk powders are reconstituted is measured in terms of an insolubility index. So in reality, the solubility of a powder is expressed as its degree of insolubility. Insolubility index is a measure of the extent of denaturation of the proteins in milk powder. Any dryer can in fact be a mal-operated, resulting in a powder with poor solubility. And the analysis shows the insolubles to be a protein, fat, or mineral complex, and the protein consists of casein and or denatured whey proteins. At a given temperature, the rate of denaturation of protein is in concentrated milk doubles for every 5% increase in total solids up to about 92%. And most of the denaturation during the drying process occurs when the concentration of the total solids is greater than the 50%. Further, it is important to note that at or near critical concentration, even 86 to 88%, even at ambient temperature, 50% insolubility may be produced within 10 hours. Next is slowly dispersible particles. These results from the surface wetting of unagglomerated, very fine particles. The formation of a gelatinous coat prevents the ingress of water and slows the rate at which the particles dissolve. If not maintained in suspension by agitation, the particles are likely to form a sludge. Next is the sludge formation. The powders with poor dispersion properties can form sludges and can demand greater energy inputs to ensure complete solutions. In an industrial or domestic context, the presence of sludge following the reconstitution of a milk powder is regarded as a product defect. Then we have another defect, that is scum formation. Scum is basically a layer formed on the surface of reconstituted milk comprising of the foam and the undissolved slowly hydrated particles, which is known as flakes. Occurrence of white flakes. White flakes are slowly hydrated particles in lacinated whole milk powder and are measured in millimeters. As the lower layer of the scum after reconstitution under specified conditions, the occurrence of white flakes is of similar origin to insoluble sediment. Unlike insolubility, this defect can be detected visually but in difficult to determine quantitatively. Next type of defect is scorched particles. Scorched particles are generally accepted to be a measure of any deposits in the drying chamber having been exposed to the high temperatures, thus getting scorched, discolored, and at the same time insoluble. Contamination of material that subsequently passes through and removes this material by collusion contributes to scorched particles in such product. Other factors outside the dryer which contribute to scorched particles are dirt or sediment of raw milk not efficiently removed by the clarification. Deposits formed in the tubes of evaporator, calandria also contribute to the scorched particles. The scorched particles are expressed as a disk ABCD standard depending on the intensity and the color of the particles left on the filter. Next type of defect in milk powder is cakiness. It is the tendency of a powder to form hard lumps in the bags during storage, and amorphous lactose is responsible for the tendency of the milk powder to pick up moisture from the surrounding air. Milk powder becomes sticky during the first phase of this moisture uptake and stoned hard at the end of the process. Final caking is caused by the crystallization of lactose followed by the evaporation of the excess moisture. Feathering is product intended for the use as whiteners in hot beverages such as coffee and tea must be reasonably thermostable. The lack of thermostability occurs as so-called feathering, that is the particles visible on the surface or throughout the beverage or sediment at the bottom. A temperature of 80 to 85 degree coupled with the low pH of coffee or and often high levels of calcium and magnesium hardness in the water makes the environment hostile to the milk protein stability. Proper protein standardization, appropriate heat treatment of raw milk, and the incorporation of phosphates and citrates as pH regulators and the protein stability enhancers are suggested to improve the stability of the milk proteins. Hope you all are satisfied with this session. This session is powered by Digital Version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. If you have any query, please mention it in our comment box. I will resolve them whenever we have a live session. Thank you so much for watching this video.